This week I was thinking about what movie I should review, what movie that I really like, and something I feel like I could say quite a bit about. Can't really see it. The Dark Knight. This week I'm privileged to have a special guest with me, who's going to be kind of reviewing the movie, I guess. If she's warned me to say that she's not super social in front of the camera, and she's really not a super social person in general. But it's my sister, Allison. Allie, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing great.
You're gonna have to speak up. Allie, how, in just a few words, how would you describe the plot? Just a basic synopsis of the plot of The Dark Knight.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same.
Basically, we're introduced to Batman, and he,
Well, we're not introduced.
Yeah!
This is the second movie.
So, The Dark Knight is about Batman, and So, The Dark Knight is about Batman, and he's introduced to the Joker, and Joker basically just wants to watch the world burn.
Yep, that's very famous Michael Caine words right there. But basically that's what it is. Batman's introduced to the Joker. Batman's played by Christian Bale. The Joker's played by Heath Ledger. And what happens is the Joker is kind of this like terrorist, and he's this guy really that wants people to see things the way that he sees them, and Joker sees bad and evil and everything. And so what he does in this movie is he takes people that are big, like have big authority, I guess, in Gotham, or people that are close to Batman, and he tries to force evil out of them. Getting into the movie, let's talk about the opening scene. This is something, we're going to talk about things that we like first.
Yeah.
This is something that I feel like really establishes Joker's character.
Yeah.
It shows how smart he is, how he can force other people to do things for him. He just knows what he's doing.
He's kind of funny.
Yeah, he's kind of funny, a little quirky. But you said you had something that you didn't really like about this scene.
I didn't really... I love the scene, but I don't... The ending bothers me. When the school bus crashes into the building, that bothers me. Because, like, they're standing there for a minute and they're talking and blah, blah, blah. And, like, how are people not noticing that there's, like, this humongous hole?
Yeah.
And, like, I get it, because, you know, he pulls out, and then, like, the police are coming, and...
But even when he pulls out, there's dust falling
everywhere.
off of the...
And, I don't know, it just annoys me.
Yeah,
and, like, people are walking by on the sidewalk, not even looking.
That part is a little iffy, but I think it serves its purpose and does it really well.
Yeah.
Even though the bus scene, or the bus part of that opening scene, is a little unrealistic, I like how this movie has a realistic feel to it. The world as a whole has a realistic feel to it. Something that they do in here is that, like, Batman, the character of Batman, they establish him as this guy who, he doesn't have any supernatural powers. He's not like Superman or the Flash or something.
He's probably my favorite DC
Yeah,
character.
he's a great superhero. You know, he's just kind of this normal dude that uses tools to help him fight, and he's, you know, he wants to fight for justice because of his past, and they establish that in Batman Begins and not this one. But, you know, he's just this normal dude. Joker is like this terrorist that seems like he just wants to, you know, hurt everyone or force evil out of people. I like how they take Harvey Dent in this movie. He's a political campaign. He's on a political campaign,
person.
And he's just trying to get thugs off the street and into prisons. Something else I was talking about this movie last night to a couple of friends of mine, and I mentioned how realistic this world feels. And one of my friends was saying, yeah, it feels real because the stakes, I feel like, are high, but they're not so high that they're unrealistic. And one of the things he mentioned was that at the end, when Joker traps the prisoners and the citizens of Gotham on the ferries, that's like something real that could actually happen, and it's not like Joker has this button that could destroy the world at any moment. You know, it's just like there's realistic stakes, and I love what Christopher Nolan brought to this movie. Something else that's really great in this movie, I think probably the best part of it for me personally, is the Joker. Just the way that they wrote him. He's such a complex character, you know. He has these reasons for doing what he does, and they're wrong. We can see that as an audience. The reasons, like, what he's doing is wrong, but the reasons that he has and the way that he speaks to other people, it's persuasive to make you think, wow, you know, he's kind of right, actually. Like, he has valid reasons for doing what he's doing. He also kind of just owns Batman whenever he speaks to him, specifically in the interrogation scene and in the ending scene when he's about to get arrested and he's hanging upside down, where Batman...
Talking about Harvey Dent
right,
and everything.
Yeah, Batman kind of says, after the boats don't explode, Batman says, you know, we just proved that the world is full of people that are good. And he basically just says, oh, well, what about Harvey? Because I took Gotham's White Knight and, you know, made him something evil. And he's really just proving that anyone can turn corruptible. And he just owns Batman. And that's fantastic writing for a character that's just so complex, but so, like, lovable at the same time. I want to talk about Heath Ledger's performance in this movie. He, as the Joker, is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, you can...
He's a great actor.
Yeah, he's a really great dude. He's been in a lot of other things he was really great in.
Yep.
We were just talking a second ago. You said he was really good in 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's just a really versatile actor. A lot of people didn't think that he could play a role like this because of the role is so evil. But you can feel real evil coming off of him. And I wanted to stop and acknowledge what happened. A lot of people think that because he was so evil in this role on the screen, a lot of people think that he took his own life because of that. But in reality, he suffered from severe sleep insomnia, and he accidentally overdosed on some sleeping pills. And it was a complete accident, and it's a shame what happened because he was such a great actor, like we just mentioned. And we miss him dearly. It breaks my heart to know that something like that happened. What was something that you really... I mean, I know I just said you can, like, feel real evil coming off of him in this role. That was something I loved about him in this movie. But what was something that you really enjoyed about Heath Ledger's performance?
He was just really good at, like, dark humor, honestly, in this role. My favorite scene in this movie was probably the magic, like, pencil scene. I know it's awful to laugh at, because, like, the dude literally just got stabbed in the head with a pencil. It's awful, but the way he does it is just, like, you know, dark humor at its finest.
Yeah, he proved that, you know, even though he was really evil in this role, he could still be funny at the same time.
Yeah, like, lighthearted.
Yeah, so that's
even though it's awful.
Yeah, the reasoning for what Joker does in this movie, I love this writing right here. It makes my nerd organs tingle. The reason he does all these things is because there is no reason, you know? Like, I love Michael Caine's monologue to Christian Bale about the jewel thief, where he's talking about he was in Europe. I forgot what country he mentions, but he was in this, like, European country, and they ran into this jewel thief, and this jewel thief stole all their jewels, but then they stumbled along them later, and because he just had taken them and was just, like, throwing them away, basically. And Christian Bale asks, why is he throwing them away? If he's not, like, if he's not going to use them, why would you even steal them? And Michael Caine just says, well, because he thought it was good sport. Some men just want to watch the world burn. And he's insinuating that Joker is the same way. And I feel like in most cases of, like, most movies, that would be considered really lazy writing. To just be like, the villain of this movie,
they just want to end the world.
He's just evil. You know, like, that's just lazy writing. But it works for this because we know of how, like, wicked and psychotic that the Joker is. It works for that character. I also wanted to mention the arc of Harvey Dent, and I feel like this goes along with how great of a character the Joker is, because it shows how persuasive he is. Yeah, but I also just love the arc of Harvey Dent. Going through it really quickly, he's this guy that people really love in Gotham. Batman sees him as a way of escape from being Batman. He's
Batman without a mask.
Right, he's the Batman without a mask. He's locked up half the criminals in Gotham without a mask. And Batman sees that as a way of escape, but Joker also sees that, and so he messes with Harvey Dent's love interest, Rachel. He kills her, and that creates just this hatred in Harvey, and Joker marvelously goes into the hospital where he's at and persuades him to really just become this corruptible villain. With Harvey corruptible now, this proves
Joker's whole
right what Joker's been trying to do this entire movie, and that's take somebody good and turn him corruptible, make him evil. And I love the ending in this where Harvey dies because Batman saves Commissioner Gordon's family, or mainly his son.
Yeah. And
he really takes the fall for Harvey because the public still sees... that's my dog Walter in the background. The public still sees him as this heroic figure, and so Batman doesn't want to ruin that. And in my mind, this is where Batman really shows himself to be a true hero. I guess he did that in Batman Begins, but this is where he really, I love the titling in that, because that was Batman Begins, but this is where he really becomes the Dark Knight.
Yep.
He takes on this heroic vigilante appearance that he has, and he becomes a hero. He says, blame it on me, even though he
really
didn't do it.
Heroic
right,
thing
it's
to
a
do.
heroic act to do. He takes the fall, and I think this ending is brilliant. Gary Oldman gives one of the best title drops in this movie at the end of it, where he's like, the Dark Knight, and then it cuts to the Dark Knight title or whatever. That's the best title drop in probably the history of movies. I absolutely love it. For the rating of this movie, I think I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
It's a great superhero movie. It's a great movie in general. I am just gonna be bold and say it. I think this is the best superhero movie ever. Allie disagrees a little bit.
No, I agree. There are a lot of good ones out there. Definitely top 5. Definitely top 3, probably.
Okay. I'm going to say it's the best, though. That's going to do it for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Allie, thank you so much for joining me. Feel free to join again. If you like what you saw here, subscribe, like, comment. I'm going to come out with videos every single week. I'm so sorry about last week's review. I feel like it was just awful. It was so late at night, and I was just rambling on and on and on. There were a couple cuts in there that were the worst. I'm sorry for my hair tonight. It's an absolute wreck. We look like trash. But if you like what you saw here, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notifications when new videos are posted. The review is now concluded.